Thank you all for coming out. This is an unexpected issue that we have been confronted with again. This is the second year in a row that we're doing this with a rally, fighting against something that we don't need to do. We're apparently been faced with Governor Hochul's Housing Compact Plan 2023. I don't know if anybody is aware of it or what it's about, but I'll try to explain it the best I can. We also have Jack that's here tonight, also to help out with the rallying that we're doing. Last year we rallied over by Westerly, Staten Avenue, about 50 people, all the elected officials. All of our elected officials on the Staten Island here are opposing it. I spoke with earlier with the borough president. He's extremely opposed to it, again, as he was last year. And our elected officials, as what I'm hearing, are also opposed to this bill. As right now, as it stands, Governor Hochul last year didn't mention it in her State of the State speech. She put it on the side where that's how we found out about it. So last year it wasn't announced, but it was on the budget. We fought for it, we rallied, she took it off the budget at the last day of when it was supposed to be put in. Now this year, she did mention it in her State of the State speech. And now we have until tomorrow, March 2nd, where she can willingly take this out of the budget and forget about it, trash it. If not, we're gonna be out there fighting, rallying, opposing this again, our time and everything else that we have to do to get this taken off of out of the budget. Anybody, if it's ADUs, additional dwelling units, is anybody familiar with that? Additional dwelling units would be something of an apartment, a legal apartment, an attic, a garage, a mother and daughter house where they add another extra apartment into it, where how many people are living in that one family house, they add extra apartments into it, and there's no overseeing, no safety issues, no building departments to verify that it's safe. You have one exit. There's no two exits in case there's a fire for people to get out. The electrical grid, the wiring in the house is not updated. It's not upgraded or anything because of what's there currently. And there's nobody to inspect it, to upgrade it, to oversee the safetyness of all these ADUs that they want to put in place. This is something that they want to do, make legal for all new coming housing that's going to be built on Staten Island and also the other boroughs, upstate New York, all over the whole state of New York. There's some places where this might be good in other boroughs or upstate, but here in the community, it doesn't fit. The infrastructure, we cannot handle it. The roads, the hospitals. Where's this? Right now, we're having people waiting in the hallway in the hospitals. The roads, we can't get through the roadways on rush hour traffic. Even during the regular time of the day, you can't get through on the roads. Until they could figure out something with the infrastructure, with the roadways, the hospitals, the police, and everything else that we need, then maybe we could talk about something with the building. And everybody's familiar with the parking. People are parking halfway on the sidewalk, half on the street, in the driveways. How do you get through on a sidewalk if people are parking on the sidewalks? They didn't accommodate for these houses for the parking. This has been an issue that we have started. We finally got this put through at R3X in the community here. It's a long story to keep on. It could go on for an hour or so explaining of this. With all this said, this is something here that we can't live with right now. We have to get out there, and if we're going to have to get out there after tomorrow, we find out that it's not taking out willing out of her budget, we'll be fighting and opposing and rallying. That's why last year we're out there fighting, we were freezing, it was so cold, and everybody talking, all elected officials and everybody that was there to support, everybody talking about this. And the next day she just disappeared, took it right out. It was a great thing. You know, something that, but we had to be there to fight for this. This year though, we're doing the same thing again. This is Stop Governor Hochul, New York State Senate and Assembly from upzoning and destroying New York City and New York State communities. Dear Governor Hochul and our New York State elected officials, please stop Housing Compact Bills, Assembly A1075 and Senate S2276. We, your New York State constituents, want to express our deep concern about and strong opposition to certain elements of your housing compact for New York 2023 budget proposal submitted to the state legislature on February 1st, 2023. The signatures on this petition are evidence of our desire for you to eliminate housing compact from the 2023 New York State budget proposal. This also is change.org, a petition that's on the website, if you could go on to that. Jack, would you like to say anything?
But this issue that Joe just spoke about, Paul Graziano, who helped work with Mount Marisa, tried to zone it properly, tried to zone Clifton, Rosebank, Fort Wadsworth. It was all shot down by city planning. But he's diligent. He organized the rallies against this new bill by Hochul. And what he did, they had a big meeting last Friday in Douglaston. And I was invited. And I went there and I spoke. It was packed. People couldn't fit in. There were people outside. People had to be turned away. And basically what this is going to do, R1, R2, even R3 neighborhoods, they can put people, as Joe said, in attics, in basements, garages. You can make a room you can put a tenant in a room. What is that going to do to the neighborhoods? You're going to have a transient crowd coming in. They're not going to stay long. They don't have a vested interest in the neighborhood. And then what happens? You'll see garbage. You'll see more crime. You're going to see a lot of problems. And you don't know who these people are. Can you raise your children, your grandchildren like that? No. We fought hard. We worked hard. We have houses. We have investments. We want safe neighborhoods. This will destroy it. It's like an attack on the middle class. And people in Douglaston everybody was there. It didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter race. It didn't matter religion. Everybody was there fighting against this bill. So we hope that she takes it out of the budget. I don't know why she even put it in the budget. We stopped it last year. And then she ran for governor. She never brought it up. And now all of a sudden she's putting it into the bill. And if by March 31st, if we don't stop it, this will become law. And all of a sudden in your neighborhoods, you're going to see it's going to be a lot different than what it is. So we have to fight. We have to stay united. And this is not just Staten Island or Queens. This is upstate New York. This is Nassau, Suffolk County. And the word is out, and people are getting together to fight this. But Paul Graziano is going to let us know in the future when the rally is going to be if we can't get this pulled out of the budget. So we got to get this pulled out of the budget, hopefully tomorrow, I think.
Tomorrow's the deadline, if she takes it out willingly.
So
If not,
yeah, basically, neighborhoods will have flop houses. You know the term flop houses? Would you want who's going to be living on houses in your neighborhood? You don't. So we have to maintain what we have. And, you pay taxes and you bought your houses in neighborhoods. You have it zoned properly. There shouldn't be variances like they do. Like some of the builders get these variances and they could go and build what they want. The zoning was there for a purpose. And we should keep it as such because people in the past knew what was going on. They did the right thing. And they shouldn't be changing the law now. Especially, it's like undermining it. So that's why it's very, very important that we fight, stay united.